the anchor for this one is going to be the very last strip that you did for the wrist on the carpals, so that's where your pre-wrap goes. And since you're taping these two joints here, that's where your pre-wrap goes. So you don't need a lot, basically, depending on the size of the person. But in order to make it a pretty job, you give it a poke, and then you poke that through. Okay, so anchor number 1 goes right where you, like I just said, right where you ended that wrist one. Boom. Okay, then you're going to switch tape. You only do 1.5 inches with the first and the last strip. We're going to turn them into a thumb up position. And we're going to visualize where we want our spicas to go. Now, different than the glenohumeral or the hip spica, we're not going to do a loop. We are going to do a loop and a loop, but our ends are only going to meet. They're not going to cross. So we start, depending on which one you're doing, so just to compare, right? It's different hands. We're always going to start at the ulnar side. Cross over the carpal metacarpal or metacarpal phalangeal joints, because we're going to do 3 spicas. So we go ulnar, around those joints, through the thumb to the radial, or to the ulnar side on the palmar aspect. So now I'm here. What is the ulnar side? Well, it's right here. So nice and wide for me. Where am I going to lay this down? At my joints. Then I have to do a crimp. So watch this. This is the web. This is called the thenar eminence in here, right in this meaty part of the thumb. You don't want to cause tension in that area, so what you do is fold the tape so that you can do a little loop around spica and then meet those ends at the other side. So now I'm going to move up a little bit with my X's. You guys see these X? Do you see one spica? So now I have another spica. I crimp the edge. That's going to articulate with the thenar eminence. I do my X pattern like yay. And now I got this one. I'm going to move up and cover this one on my next one. More dramatic towards his nail of his thumb. Crimp the edge that articulates. And voila. That's it. Yeah, 3. As long as you cover these 2 joints right here. So just to show you, I'm going to move it around, maybe mess it up a little bit. But it's moving here and it's moving here. That's that little metacarpal right there. So anyway. Okay, now I think I call these cover strips. Cover strips are to cover up your X pattern. You might have a little window here. I don't, or I kind of do. It's tiny. Okay, you might have a bigger one depending on the person, but you want to cover up that window. So these are your cover strips. You're going to end at one side of your spica on the dorsal aspect of the hand, so nice and wide, and then come and end on the palmar aspect, volar, whatever you want to call it, side. Those are the same terms. No, you stay here. Thank you for being a good athlete. By good, I mean in doing what you want to do, not what I want you to do. No, okay. So then I do those cover strips. Did you guys see that? Overlapping half the width of the tape, again covering up those X's that you made with your spica. Okay, last 2 strips. So now I have these ends here. You guys see this? I got to cover those up, otherwise when he starts dribbling the ball, they're going to start rolling up and messing up. So you cover up your ends with a U strip or a cover strip. Again, I'm going dorsal aspect of the hand, getting those ends. I'm crimping now on the other side because then that's going to lay down with his thumb, and I make sure I get the ends on this side. You guys see that? So now my ends are covered from those cover strips, covering the covers. Okay, last one. Finish like you started. Now we got to cover this end here. So we do that anchor strip. A boom. This ain't bad.
This is just for fun. This one's just for fun.
What do you mean, just for fun?
We're not testing on this one.
Yep, this one's in the hat, guys. But this turned out prettier than it normally does.
Because you took your time.